Hello, traders. She told me she was going to scalp, and I was like, when? She's like, when New York open. I said, all right, let's do it. She's like, what? So here's an example for number 6, which was, having spread your trades out amongst different trades. Okay, so this is sort of what our team does. Okay, so here's an example. So Anna's scalping team has 4 trade scalping setups. So if our daily goal is 625 and our contract size, let's just say we do it off of $2, okay, then that means that will be 312 points we have to get. Now, it's important for those watching this recording, we're scalping Bitcoin, so we can get that type of points available to us in a scalping session. With NAS, I think the most NAS runs on a 1 minute on average is 20 points per pivot level. For Bitcoin, she's at like 100 per pivot level. So that would really just mean us going 3 levels, which is very doable. So the number of setups, so we have 4 setups, and down here at the bottom on the bottom left. Number of setups, we have 4. Our daily goal divided by our number of setups, so our daily goal is 625 divided by 4 setups that we have. That would be 156 points we would need for each trade. Okay? And then for our max loss numbers, our max loss is $312. Okay? Oh, I forgot to change that number in here. Let me make sure that math is right. Hold on. Yeah, that actually should say a 2 here. This is really 2 traders, not 5. Okay, so the number of setups is 4. Okay, so daily max loss is 312. So 312 divided by 4, that gives us a 78 point pullback per trade. So we're going for 156 for one. We have 4 times we can make it happen. And then we have a pullback of 78. So back to your point, Charlotte, earlier, what I could do is say, okay, well, where's my 21? Is it 78 points of a pullback? And I think last week she was running an average for Bitcoin was 50 points from current price to the 21 was a 50-point pullback. So if that was the case for this, we would have been way fine, because I'm not holding past that 21. Even though I have 78 points, I can take that pullback. I'm not going to take past more than the 21. If it breaks and closes below that 21, then the short-term current trend is changing. I'll wait for a new entry. Do you guys follow? Do you traders follow?
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go to a visual. So if our daily goal is $625 and we're using a $2 lot, well, you could say contract size if you're doing CFDs, $2 lot, whatever. And we have 4 setups. So that's here. So here's a screenshot I took from Bitcoin on Friday. Okay. Each support and resistance level, each pivot points here are 100 to each one. So for my goal, if I need 312, I'm sorry, traders. If I need 312, how many levels do I have to go, Charlotte?
Okay, so wait, each level is 100 pips you said?
Yeah, so from the R6 to the R5 is 100 points. From the
Okay.
R5 to the P4 is 100. So in between each of these is 100 points.
Oh, so if you enter in at the R6, then you would really just need to go midway of the between the R5 and the P4 because you're going 156.
Right, I need 312 points. So if I go from here, so the way I do it is I say, okay, I just need to go like 3 levels because each one is 100 points between each level. So if I get in at the R6 and I need to make 300, just say 300 will make it even. I know I need to go 3 levels, 1, 2, 3. So I need my trade, I need to get out at the S3 and I've made my goal.
Okay, so then that's just with one trade then, but if you divide it by 4 setups.
Right, if I divide it by 4, then I just go, like you said, I just go 1 level to the R5. Or a little bit further because it's 100
Yeah.
points.
Midway. Okay, but that makes sense too, though. I mean, if the market is giving you that on one trade, then you done for the day.
Right, or you're done for that one goal. That now you have 3 more trades to take.
Opportunities.
Yep.
Okay.
Now
I get that.
you can diversify, right? We like us ladies, we like lots of shoes. So you could say, all right, well, 156 per trade off of 4. Well, maybe, I'm that's only 1 level. She's still going to run. Then you could put it all together, or you will just really have to know your asset and market structure. And that's where the market structure comes into play because, going just 1 level, that play isn't done. You can still have a lot more opportunity in there, depending on where the market was at. So there's like 2 concepts here, but my goal was just to show you the breakdown of the numbers.
That's
So that's what it looks for the daily goal. Missy, you have any comments?
I don't, but that's good information.
Okay. Now, traders, if you don't have this type of information, these levels here, what you can do is map out your support and resistance levels with a naked chart, and you can get these levels. They might not be exactly, you might miss some, but the major ones, it's because it is just support and resistance. You'll see a lot of touches at each of these zones, and then you'll be able to mark it that way, from zone to zone, like when they call them, zone traders. I kind of admire the zone traders too. Sometimes I talk about it on my team. I'm like, but our zone traders would be waiting for it to come to them. And the way I trade, I really just go with the flow. And then when she gets there, then I'm like, okay. But it's a lot more. But anyway, that's what you can do. If you don't have these levels available to you, just use your support and resistance on that time frame. Put it on lines. Well, you don't have to. I would recommend putting it on lines and seeing the most touches at each point, and that could be considered one of your levels. Do you guys have any other ideas on how they could do that? Identify those areas if they don't have these numbers available to them? I use
Good suggestion.
I use there's a guy on TradingView. This is his numbers. These are his indicator. And it's free, but maybe you don't have TradingView. And I don't know, whatever the case is.
But no, I think what you said, you put it on line chart and then going by the multiple touches is a good other way if you don't have those.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if you're like, well, which time frame should I do? Your 5 minute, the higher you go, if you do a 5 minute or 15 minute, they're really going to match these major levels. So those are definitely going to be really great zones, but meaning that those lines will fall on this 2-minute chart as well. It's just your 2-minute is going to be a lot more precise, where there was a lot of orders in and orders out at really good zones. Okay, so that's for the numbers for the daily goal. Then looking at our max loss numbers, max loss per day is 312. We're running a 1 to 2 risk to reward, so we're doing good there. And this should say $2, not $5, traders. So it's 312 divided 2. That's how you do the math. Gives you an output of 156 points. So the way to check that is you can do 156 times $2, not 5, and you should get 312. Okay, to run it backwards. So what does that look like for a max loss? So that same for the reverse. If it goes, we can have it go one level. If each of these is 1 point, we can go about a level and a half, and then we need to be out. But look here, traders, in this screenshot, let's just look at it over here. I'm over here with the sell. Let's say right here on this candle here. Okay. Let's see, she fell here, right? And then we have this green doji. So we don't know this big bar is going to happen. And let's say she pulls back. Okay. Well, I know I can have a whole level and a half to still stay within my risk. So if I look at this and I say, okay, this is really close, so I can go another one up plus halfway. Well, look, traders, I wouldn't even do that. And you wouldn't either, for those that are really know the power of the EMAs. Because it passed the 21. I'm not holding it way up here. Yeah, the trend has probably changed. So I don't even have to use, in this situation, I wouldn't even use everything available to me. My 21 would be the one that's getting me out. Okay? But the value is, traders, is that you can visually see what your numbers are mean on the chart. You know, here again, if we had a level and a half, let's just say the P4 doesn't really count too much because it's practically right there. So we can go up to here and in between, almost to our 800. I don't trade like that, and I don't know too many traders that do scalp like that, where they would hold that pullback like that. But what I like about this is that I can visually see what my rules are putting me at on my chart. And then I can say, okay, well, what else, what other information, what other confluences on my chart support or give me favor and confidence on my numbers. You know? So here, going back to the earlier conversation really quick, I would then measure from here to the 21, find out what that distance is. Then I know, oh, okay, wonder what that is. And I have my team do that. Missy will measure that. I'll ask her for that distance to the 21. How much is it? And that's because I may not have all of this number in front of me and I'll forget. Missy, don't you feel like I'm always asking you for measurements?
Yeah, and I see the importance in it.
Yeah. Because when it's running fast, you want to know, like, okay, how much far away. But per our rules and me looking at it, we wouldn't even be holding that whole amount of a pullback. But at least
because you're in a sale.
Huh?
Because you're selling.
Yeah.
Because you're selling, so you wouldn't even
exactly
allow it to go back up to 2 levels.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, good. Any questions or comments on that?
No, I think that's smart.
That should be helpful, so you can visually see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily bring it right back into profit because I don't want to re-enter. So if I know I have my 21 there and I'm okay with that pullback, and I got in like say late, it might eat into my, now I'm in drawdown, but then that's when I default to my EMAs as my rule. So even though I was in profit, maybe it was a bad entry or something, I won't, necessarily bring my trade into profit.
Yes,
So-
see, that's how I get stopped out so much.
Yeah.
Cause I do break even +2, and then I try to do structure, I try to see where it pulled back and then it came back. For instance, let's just say this one with the red candle, okay, with the green going up, and then that's like a hammer, and then the red candle, and then right. So then, just if I was in the buy, then I would bring my stop up to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
after I
got
had
kicked
done-
out because it hit you did your +2 and now you're out of the trade and then it took off.
Right. No. What I'm saying is, initially I would put it break even +2, and then where you currently have it, that would be my next area where I would put the stop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Because it pulled back, but then it went back up. So I'm like, okay, well, I should be safe that it doesn't come back down to that.
Right to this level
That-
here.
Uh-huh.
Yes, good.
What you think about that?
That's good. I went over that in another session before. So that's putting your stops at the pivot, the next pivot. So that's what you did, which is good. And pivot happens to be right at the 21, which makes sense. You'll notice that pivot usually happens at the 21.
That P4, okay.
And yeah, of course, the P4. All right. Well, let's see. I think that's strategies. And then psychology preparation, the last one. Mindset adjustment. As the numbers grow, psychology pressure increases. So this is great, just more confirmation for yourself that it's not just me. This is normal. You are going to have that psychology pressure. Prepare mentally for a larger drawdowns and profits to avoid emotional decision making. And that's where I say counter it with, if you can, with another account. You can put it in demo, run the same trade, and you can literally see like, wow, okay, that's good. That's good profit, but it wasn't really done making its full correct market move. Reassess your plan. Regularly review your trading plan to ensure it's all aligned with your growing account and that you're not over leveraging due to emotional bias. So, any comments on those 8 strategies? How about, do you guys feel that you're already implementing them? So you'll be right on target when you need to do something, maybe after you're funded or to continue adding on?
Yes, I don't think I'm doing all of them, but yeah, this is very enlightening
Okay.
to help me to implement the things that I'm not.
Yeah, and then just pick out ones maybe fancy and just make that your goal for 2 weeks. You're consistent.
Mhm.
So these were the different options. Okay. Next is we're going to... Oh. It was number 5. All right, I have my slide deck messed up. Let me stop share real quick. It says share. Am I sharing my screen?
No, it's still the PowerPoint.
Yeah, the PowerPoint, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So, traders, we're going to discuss number 5, scaling up with profit cushion. Okay? Scaling up with profit cushion. Number 5 was use a portion of your profits to fund larger positions. This reduces emotional pressure because you're scaling up with house money. Okay. A story. Emma had finally done it after